Another week of football. Let's get straight into the recap. Well, for the hype going into this game, it was a very underwhelming outcome, and that's not even taking into account what happened to Tua. I don't understand why they would force him out there so quickly. I mean, from a football perspective, a healthy Teddy Bridgewater is already better than an injured Tua. Just an awful decision by the Dolphins' medical staff. Anyway, the Bengals are still a pretty solid team, and with all the momentum deflated out of the Dolphins, the Bengals came out with a win in a really sad atmosphere. At least Tua isn't paralyzed or something, but he never should have been on the field at all. Regardless, I guess a win is a win, and T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, and Jamar Chase are still maybe the scariest trio in the entire league. Well, the NFL decided to subject the entirety of London to the quarterback battle between the optimum model of mediocrity and the red paintball gun, but surprisingly this game turned out to be pretty entertaining. Justin Jefferson was cooking Marshawn Lattimore all game, but somehow even without Jameis, or Michael Thomas, or Kamara, the Saints kept pace. So after continuing to go back and forth for a while, it looked like the Vikings finally ended it all until Andy gave all Saints fans a mere morsel of hope. Then Will Lutz trotted onto the field after making a 60-yard field goal just moments earlier and, I guess, got possessed by the ghost of Marcus Williams and became corrupted with PTSD flashbacks, commanding the rarest form of defeat a team can endure, the double doink. Wow, these scriptwriters are getting real greedy recently. Uh-oh. Well, I can say with confidence that the Lions are the most entertaining team in the league. Not only do they give up a ton of points, but they also find a way to claw back into every game. The Lions are like a festering infection that just won't go away no matter what you do, and I love that. An identity is really all you can ask for if you're a Lions fan. And also, do you realize that Geno Smith is unironically damn near a top 10 quarterback in the NFL in 2022? Still, I don't think the Seahawks are going anywhere this year, but in such a weak NFC, I guess anything's possible. Also, it is absolutely tragic that DK Metcalf was carted off the field with a horrific injury. Prayers up to that innocent toilet that was the victim of his wrath. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. Zach Wilson replaced the Messiah Joe Flacco and basically picked up right where he left off last year. Yeah, he's still trash. But fortunately for the Jets, Trubisky is matching Zach Wilson blow for blow, resulting in a game that I just decided to turn off. Until, after weeks of torture and agony for Steelers fans being forced to watch Mitchell Trubisky throw the football, Kenny Pickett enters the game and immediately throws a pick. A little anticlimactic, but whatever. Even if Kenny Pickett didn't do too much in terms of skill, his presence still brought a lot of energy, and he even ran for 2 touchdowns, which gave the Steelers the late lead. Now, this is the position you want to be in. If you lose to Zach Wilson on a last-second drive, then so be it. But to his credit, Zach Wilson got it done. Breece Hall made it as close as it possibly could have, but whatever. The Jets are 2-2 somehow.
At the end of the day, they're not putting in any work.
Going into this game, the fact that one of these teams would be 3-1 made me sick. These teams are garbage. Watching the Bears really feels like I'm watching a below-average high school JV team with a quarterback that can barely throw the ball. I think the highlight of this game was definitely seeing Tyrod Taylor seemingly finally have another chance at getting a quarterback job only to throw a pick on his first pass and then gets knocked out immediately. It's just not fair. I mean, not much else to say. Saquon's still pretty good, but there's still no way the Giants keep this up though. I've straight up lost all the energy to complain about the Colts. The only thing I will say, though, is Matt Ryan's doing his best, and you're just relying way too much on Jonathan Taylor, and it's finally time to pay the price. Like always, the Titans just barely held on, but 2-2 isn't the end of the world, and Vrabel's carrying this team on his bulky back for as long as he can. And I also don't know how long this Derrick Henry thing is going to keep up for, but as long as he doesn't break, I guess just keep riding him. Yeah, I mean, looking at the early slate of games, most of these matchups really probably won't have any playoff intentions later on in the year, and this one is no different. Early on, this looked like pure dominance, and that's what it should have been, but the Chargers like to give you a little scare from time to time just to keep you on your feet. It is pretty important that they finally got Austin Eckler going and slayed the dynasty of the Texans. I'm still not impressed, Chargers, at all. Marcus Mariota versus Jacoby Brissett, the legendary quarterback battle that was just a ton of runs. And that was really it. I mean, Mariota completed 7 passes. AJ Terrell basically clamped Amari Cooper, and Denzel Ward did the same on his side of the field, which really made this game tough to watch as a viewer. Besides this play, where Jacoby Brissett whipped out the nastiest pump fake in his arsenal, there isn't much to say about this game. This loss could be pretty big for Cleveland in the future in terms of their playoff hopes, but for Atlanta, I do wonder when or if we'll see Desmond Ridder this year, though. But I guess we're riding with Mariota for now. What is your end goal, Washington? Just accept that you're not good enough. Carson Wentz was supposed to be a band-aid for this team, but it's just not working out at all, and this offense is the most incoherent unit I've seen in a while. It's like they just get into the huddle and Carson Wentz just tells everyone to get open. Just keep trying to catch up to Philly, Cowboys. I'm not sure you can do it, but it's worth a try. Speaking of the Eagles, man, you had me going there for a quarter or so. I was fully prepared to bow down to our new ruler, Trevor Lawrence. But, unfortunately, Doug Peterson's revenge game was ruined pretty quickly because although the Eagles' offense finally showed some weakness, their defense is still incredible. Very important win for Philly, though, showing they can come back from an early hole, and for the Jags, I wonder how long we can keep saying same old Jaguars. We might be in a new era. Yeah! What the f***, Baltimore? This game straight up terrifies me. If you're trying to win a Super Bowl, you cannot allow this to happen. You had the Bills in a goddamn chokehold and you let go. And even when you had a chance to heal your wounds, you blew it. Never give Josh Allen a chance because he will dismantle your defense. So in response, you don't take the lead with a field goal. Instead, you go for it and you miss a wide open Devin Duvernay. Then it gets worse because you don't let the Bills score a touchdown, resulting in a game-winning field goal with time expiring for the Bills and Marcus Peters losing his mind fighting teammates. Classic Marcus Peters, but really embarrassing loss, Baltimore. Get it together, please. The Panthers are basically the same team as Washington. It's crazy to me. Both have a quarterback that really isn't going to move the needle one way or another, a wide receiver who would rather be in any other situation, and a sad, sad fan base, if any. Regardless, at one point in the game, the Cardinals basically just decided to end the Panthers' suffering, and I'll say it again, Carolina. Please, just blow it up.
Let's ride.
This game was a must-win for the Raiders, and boy did it take a lot of punts and field goals, but they did get it done. Russell Wilson is just so visibly not familiar at all with this new system, and I don't see it changing at all. Maybe the Raiders aren't dead yet in terms of playoff hopes, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. You're gonna need to prove a lot more to me, though. What a weird game. With Mac Jones out, 63-year-old Brian Hoyer got the start and got cremated almost instantly, so in comes another no-name quarterback to play for the Patriots. Just Bill Belichick doing his work. And oddly enough, Aaron Rodgers just didn't look like himself for most of the game until his talent completely bailed out the Packers late. Also, for what it's worth, even if Aaron Rodgers hasn't been thinking about retirement recently, with these receivers around him making mistakes like this, I just don't know how much more of this he can take. But Mason Crosby's corpse still trotted onto the field to kick the game-winning field goal, and once again, I'm not sold on this Packers team, but I can be convinced. Still a good win overall, though. I don't get it. What Patrick Mahomes did on this very night was a crime and a violation of multiple amendments. He's just not human. I mean, there's not much else to say here. I feel like the Bucs played pretty well overall too. It's just Mahomes was brewing over with revenge since the Super Bowl loss and took everything personally. If the Chiefs can replicate this game, they'll be the apex predator of the league by a long shot. Please, someone stop them. Yep, this is what I feared. The 49ers are right back to what they were last year and proved it by kicking the ever-living spirit out of the Rams. The score may not show it, but the 49ers really dominated every single aspect of this game, and the Rams are now tied with Geno Smith in the Seahawks in their own division. Not sure if it's time to hit the panic button for the Rams, but I guess just hope Sean McVay crafts together some new way to outsmart teams, because without key playmakers from last year, the Rams just aren't one of the best teams in the league anymore. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, then like and comment, and subscribe to the channel if you like this content, because I got a ton more videos just like this one. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then watch this video right here that I also made a week ago on some of the worst NFL injuries that ended legendary careers. Anyways, until next time.